is going to be another very special episode. This is from 1966, the Panasonic RQ-156S portable reel-to-reel. It's currently apart, bad caps, and I'm just going to change them all because I have them all in stock. And plus it's a good idea. If it's at this point now, the rest are going to follow soon. This is special because while it's not the same one, this was my first reel-to-reel. Let me see, I remember I came home, I want to say September, or, no, it was around Thanksgiving. So it was about the week before Thanksgiving, 1992. I came home from school one day and this was there waiting for me. Belonged to my one aunt. My grandfather brought it up. It's been in his attic since who knows when, with several reel-to-reel tapes which have recordings from my aunt's being in the band. I'll play that later. So I was excited because this is my first reel-to-reel I ever had. What happened to mine was I went through a phase in the mid-90s and I got rid of a lot of stuff, which I totally regret to no end. However, I've been reobtaining everything, and oftentimes in better condition. This unit is in better condition than the one I had. Just minor things, but like it was missing one of the cover doors on it. And this piece here is in better shape cosmetically. The other one was stained a little bit. And I also have the accessory box, which I'll show later. So I actually have more complete accessories. I kept the original microphone in mine, which I'll also show. In addition, the other problem is belt. I got this off eBay, and whoever had it before used a rubber band, the type you buy at the office supply store, as the belt off the motor to drive the flywheel. I opened it up and of course it was gooey and in half. Those belts, the rubber bands, are not designed to be used as a belt. They're too elastic and they're gonna last, like they dry up very quickly, like a couple months out in the air. They become hard and everything. And then they start sticking to stuff. So tonight's goal is to recap this unit. Oh, speaking of recapping, back in the 90s when I had mine, figured the unit then was only about 26 years old, 27 when I got it. Mine still worked fine electronically. This one had very weak distorted audio, and that's the sign that it needs new caps. So here we go. And here's the circuit board with all new United Chemicon KMG series capacitors. All good to 105 degrees Celsius. They're excellent caps. And I also recapped the power supply. There's only two on there, and it's not focusing very well. And there's the other one right there. Testing it, here's the verdict. Only two were good. One was completely off the charts on ESR. And these are all bad. The small ones were the worst.
Whoops.
Here's a 3 microfarad 15 volt. Go up to the chart. It's nothing really there, but it should be somewhere between like 2.5 and 6. It's almost 20 ohms. That's way off. That's just a good example of one that's bad. All the small valued electrolytics are like that. The larger ones, these 500 microfarad 10 volts, ESR is good, but it's way out of tolerance, way more than 20%. Like 20% should be about 100 microfarads. Well, some of these were like 700-800 microfarads. They're way off. And this one up here, right here, I'll show you. This is a excuse me, 30 microfarad 3 volt it thinks it's in circuit and it says ESR is greater than 20 ohms, so who knows? That one's way off. I have to put like a regular capacitance meter on it to see what it is. It's probably open if it says in circuit. So that's where we're at now. The next step is to figure out what to do about belts and cleaning. I just ordered belts for the Panasonic here. They came in today. Ordered several. Some were like right in between sizes, and I bought 2 of each, like one right below and one right above, just in case one was too tight for it. Just take 1/16 inch thickness belts. The motor flywheel belt is either a 10 or 10.5 inch circumference. I'll find out which one suits it best, but like I said, somebody replaced it with a rubber band probably right when I got it off eBay to make it look like it worked, even though it was very unsteady speed, and it turned to a hard gooey mess. It left chunks all over the pulleys. I took care of that. It also has a tape counter belt that's 8.5 or 8.8 inches. I'll find which one fits it best. And the real table belt, which is really for the rewind only, really, and it's a 9.6 inch circumference. And when they order belts from Studio Sound, how you measure it, not by diameter, but you basically stretch it out, not tight, but you know, it's not so it stretches, but you go like this and you measure it times 2, and then you subtract 5 to 10% for belt stretch, and that's how you come up with your numbers. Here's what the mechanism looks like with brand new belts on it from this side. And I had to add some fresh grease to it. Actually, you see that white grease right there? That's Fauna Lube, that brand I bought. I have a syringe right here, actually, and a syringe is very good for doing shit like this. Anyhow, boy, there's no grease on there prior to, but this here to engage the right real spindle table. It's spring loaded. It took it a minute to get up there, but now it's perfectly free moving. So I'm going to show how this works. Alright, this is how the mechanism works. Play actually has its own separate micro switch in here to turn the amplifier and accessories on, unlike turning it on with every other function. So like I press play, push it up, and the back of this engages the there's a felt clutch in there to allow this to slip in play. As you can see, I'm making it slip. That's how it keeps reel turning with the proper play speeds. I can stall it too, and the rear part of it will keep spinning. So that works just fine now. And when it's in play, I'll mention this later, this acts as the battery checker, and on AC it reads a little bit like between the H. Back in the day, mine would read between the G and H. This one reads about between the I and H, so it's just a little different tolerance here. That one, and fast forward is the same function for this, except it doesn't engage the clutch, so this is much harder to stop. So properly fast forward, amplifier is not engaged, so this doesn't come on. And when you do a rewind, that comes on like that. Tape counter is also ran off the left spindle table, reel table. And that's how that works. Here's the back. Serial number is 12386. Cycles per second, 117 volts. Batteries have that little ribbon here, so you put it in, and when you need to expel the batteries, you just pull it and they'll come out. That goes on. One thing I had to do, the 50-year-old foam completely disintegrated, so I took it out and put, vinyl weather stripping in its place for its pad. The one thing mine didn't have back then was the cover that goes on this side. The cord is permanently attached and there's a relay inside, but mine did not have the little plastic piece here, so it's another plus for this one. And this little piece here I'm leaving on there, that had had a couple tags on it from when it was new. Unfortunately, the one was ripped. I mean, not ripped, like the little punch hole is in there, so it was easy to take off. So I'm just gonna leave it off in the box, or in the bag, original bag. This thing's mint without the box, but there was a box with it that is original, just not the whole box. This is a leather microphone holder case, and the good news is I still kept mine from back in the day. And here's the back of the unit. And like I said, this one's more complete than the one I had. It would have been more special if I still had the one I was given from my grandfather, but it's okay. I'm trying to do this one-handed. And then this right here would be your cord storage. So I'll just slide that on and you flick it in there, and then the cord comes out the bottom. Other notable features has the Panasonic logo with the big N for national. It's National Panasonic. Tape counter. Back then, tape counter, these old type of tape counters were my favorite. I love the microphone on there, the little symbol. And you have your battery meter, which is when it's in play, and a VU meter, volume unit meter, when it's recording. And sound monitor to monitor the sound while you're recording, and also as a PA mode. Off for normal recording, where you set the record level with the volume control on the side, and Easymatic, which is Panasonic's version of automatic level control. You flip this up. The door is removable up top. I'm just going to leave it attached for now. This tape here, I believe this was the first tape. If not, I'll edit the video accordingly, but I'm trying to play the first tape I played on this unit. It was actually still threaded in the unit when I got it. What's special about this is, again, this was given to me by my, not this particular unit, but the one back then was given to me by my grandfather. And this was actually my aunt's reel-to-reel, bought in 1966, I guess as a Christmas gift or whatever, to record, and they used it to record her band sessions in school. It says 1971 senior concert. That's what this is. I used to have the original Panasonic reels in here as well back then, but I think in 96 those got discarded as well, which is unfortunate. This tape right here is 1 7/8 inches. This has a capstan sleeve, and that's how you change speed. Take the sleeve off and you thread it onto the capstan. That gives you 3 3/4. So these were recorded on 1 7/8 inches. And just as well, there's a cover that slips off for the head. Left side being DC erase and the right side being record. So that's how that is. And these are there's supposed to be 5 reels in here. I'm missing one from back then. It's Bell and Howell reel-to-reel tape here. It says ultra high density. I had one that just said HD for high density. So it says ultra high density gamma oriented magnetic recording tape, made in USA. All these, and the rest of them are Pencrest branded, which is JCPenney's brand. I'm not sure on the manufacturer, but they're all made in the USA as well. And somebody drew the Nazi symbol for some reason on there. That sounds like it when I got it. Now, some notable things right here. This leather microphone case, snap open. Here's the original microphone. Though this is not the same microphone as the one I had with mine. Also see it has the microphone and remote jacks. And this cable tie plastic pieces attached to it, just like mine is. The one I have is the same microphone, but it had a metal clip on it. But my metal clip broke when I was doing something with it. But that's the only difference. But this is the model number on this unit here. If I can get it to focus, which it doesn't want to. Anyhow, it's the model WM-2095P. And here's the leather case and microphone for the one I had back then. It's the same microphone, just this one had a belt clip. Right now there's just a screw. I'll show what happened in a second. This one is the model WM-2113P. Up here the clip broke, and because it's kind of sharp, I just took it off and leave the screw on like that. And right here, including the original baggie what it came in, or for some reason I have 2 instruction manuals for this unit and a warranty service card. Apparently it was bought someplace called Photography Central on December 15th, 1966. Serial numbers don't match, so there's something weird about this tape recorder. Like it had like 2 manuals for it, but okay. And on here, there is a service center in the Pittsburgh area. Doubt it's there, but there's little indications of what they service there. There are those numbers there. Television, tape recorder, home radio, pencil sharpener, phono, hi-fi components, appliances. The sound heard round the world. This is the tag I was on the tape recorder when I got it. See what I mean? It kind of, I was like, when I got it. Panasonic tape recorder with the new Easy-Matic switch, which is this Panasonic's version of automatic level control. But it also explains how to use normal recording without it and the sound monitor function. And also this came off the power cord. The power cord is a KDK, which is also a subsidiary of Matsushita. And both these instruction manuals are the same. Nothing's been written in them. That reel on there is the proper reel that would be on here, and it would say Panasonic on it. That little National Panasonic logo. That's nice. It will show you all the features and explain everything, how to thread the tape. All these illustrations are hand drawn, but very well. And how to even change tape speed, Easy-Matic recording, even recording from radio or TV, and splicing the tape, checking the battery. And I like this manual here. It shows all the specifications for it. Music power output 1 watt. Even tells you what transistors are in it. Recording system. AC bias 30 kilocycles per second. DC erasing. There's your frequency response. So it's not a hi-fi unit, but it does still sound pretty good. There is no equalization switch between 3 3/4 or 1 7/8. About 20 hours using Panasonic high-top batteries. And the accessories. And that's what I actually have. I have the accessory box too, which I'll show. And on the back, it lists the features. So that's all the original paperwork this unit would have came with. And this came with this unit I got off eBay. Has accessories in there. Microphone. And that microphone number there matches the one that came with the unit. Microphone case. Microphone stand. 5-inch recording tape. 5-inch reel. Radio cord. D-size Panasonic high-top batteries. And splicing tape. But in addition, inside that box has an additional accessory. A foot switch. For Panasonic TR tape recorders. And here it is. It's probably never been used. In fact, it looks like it's still wrapped up like that from the factory. I'm not probably ever going to use it. I mean, I'll plug it in the side to test it, but it's very solid foot pedal. In addition, looks like this has never been used. It's the matching microphone stand. And in addition, this also has the line level patch cord as well. And it's cool. It even has, see, radio, auxiliary recorder audio, and it's also in Japanese. But for some reason, like the instruction manuals, I have a second one right here. It's the same cord. And in addition, like the box set, I also have some splicing tape. The box says it's only supposed to be one of these in the box, but I got 3 rolls of Panasonic branded. I don't know if they're Panasonic or not. It says made in Japan, but and that's it for accessories. So the next thing I do is I'm gonna try to find that first song I played on this unit when I got it. Every piece in that unit's a Matsushita product except for the VU meter. It's a Sankyo. Another thing I like to point out, even the packing material this stuff came in, the plastic's much more thicker than what you'd find on today's stuff. It's kind of cool. One thing to note about this unit as well as mine, the brakes on this are just rubber and they press up against the plastic spindle inside when it stops. So I like how it always made this sound when I loaded the tape. See, listen. That's just it dragging along the plastic reel right there. I remember that. That's classic. So anyhow, now to find that part on this tape here. But here it is. I'll hit play. Starts up. Interesting to note, almost to this day, 22 years ago, I got this reel-to-reel. It was like 1 or 2 weeks before now I got it. And apparently a couple reels were blank already for some reason, and I recorded Genesis and Phil Collins on them. Look at the dates: November 27th, 1992, November 28th, 1992. So I'm wondering subconsciously in my mind if that's what made me want to restore this right now on the exact date, 22 years later. I got it fixed. While I was listening to my aunt's reel, I haven't got to the part yet. Unfortunately, I erased over like about a 30-second portion of her thing, but I did find this little tidbit here.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. 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 Testing 1, 2, 3. Play.
That was me 22 years ago. Now, noting the position on the tape counter, it's only about advancement from 56 to 66. Right after I made that very first short test recording, this one song the band played stuck with me because I remember the reel-to-reel, and again, this had happened around Thanksgiving 1992. I remember playing this that day because Thanksgiving was at our house that year. For a better, clear picture, I'm going to lift this up right here. You can watch the reels go around and play the song in its entirety. And here, I'll press play, and here we go.
Good morning, Mr. Kenta. As you well know, the Civil War was fought to bring the country together, ending racial discrimination, and to make America a better place for all. Your mission, John, if you decide to accept it, will be to carry out an ideal that our forefathers believed enough in to give their lives for. If you, or any of your Mission Impossible force, are captured or killed, the Secretary will disavow any knowledge of your actions.
was like one of the first things I actually played on there after I accidentally did my record test. And see how quiet it is now that you hear someone speaking but it's barely audible? They obviously do not use the automatic level control or Easymatic. They just manually set the level and left it at that. That's a case where you would want to use automatic level control. Whereas if you're copying music or whatever, you leave it off. You set it just like any other hi-fi unit, you know. But so yeah, now there's one other song on another reel we'll try that I remember when I tried playing that reel, and then go from there. But anyhow, yeah, what you're witnessing is 22 years ago. This was when it happened. Alright, and this next reel, this is taking, I'll just explain, this video is taking course over a period of a few days. Thanksgiving's passed. It's already almost the 29th. So I missed my goal of getting it done for the 22nd anniversary of when all this happened, when all this went down. But just one more recording. Maybe one more that's sort of unrelated, but I'm just going back to when I first got this unit 22 years ago. This is from a reel named Spring Concert 1970. since this one was recorded on Easymatic, because you could tell the automatic level control kicked in, a lot of things, it's recorded at the proper audio level. I just want to show you, it's only on 4 out of 10, and since recapping it, this thing definitely is working well, and I'll show you why. Let the music start playing again, and I'm just going to go all the way out into the living room here with this chapter car. I mean, you can pretty much hear it in the whole house. And I mean, I think still got room to go. I mean, I could turn up to about 8 or 9 out of 10 and then before it distorts. So before I recapped it, I had the thing on 10. It was barely audible and it's fully distorted. So as you saw, all the bad caps I pulled out of it. So that was a successful restoration. I also went to South Fayette High School for at least 7th grade, because the middle school and high school is combined into one. That's my aunt right there. Now, this is Spring Concert 1966. Those other those other reels were from 1970 and 71, 71 being her senior year. And to finish up this rather long video, we're going to do record tests with this unit. The tape I'm going to use it's actually one of these 600-foot acetate tapes, but I put the label on the wrong box, and I should never put a label on anyhow, but Elton John's Greatest Hits, it's actually volume 3, and I recorded it on February 26, 1994. And I don't know why I put speed standard play. It's 3 3/4. So this means I'm going to be using the capstan sleeve, but there's an odd thing about this tape. This General Electric alarm clock. Back in 1994, all I did was I set the microphone on top of the speaker and hit play of one of my cassettes I recorded from vinyl of that very album. So I'm just trying to show you how that was done. Because it's funny, because you can hear me hit play and hear the mechanism of that tape recorder in there when it played. Okay, so got the volume set. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. So you can hear the mechanism of the tape deck in the background.
Don't wish it away. Don't look at it like it's forever.
But I do know the second side, this reel is mostly blank, so I'm going to rewind to it and continue on with this test. Turn the reels around, hit rewind. Rewind is nice and strong. Tape counter is accounting. 1 revolution equals a digit on the tape counter of the left reel. Alright, got the microphone hooked up. It's actually set to record right now. Remote switch is off. Tape's right where it's blank. Okay, and here we go with Easymatic recording. Today is December 7th, 2014 at 2:50 a.m. This is a test of the Panasonic reel-to-reel tape recorder here. Easymatic turned on. This recording is being made nearly 21 years after this Elton John recording has been made, and nearly 22 years after I first received the original unit for this. Okay, I'll stop. Now, there's no mechanical pause on these. You use the remote pause on this to turn it off and on. It leaves the amplifier engaged, but this turns off the motor. And that's also how that foot switch would work. So hit rewind. Okay, and let's see what happens. Today is December 7th, 2014 at 2:50 a.m. This is a test of the Panasonic reel-to-reel tape recorder here. Easymatic turned on. This recording is being made nearly 21 years after this Elton John recording has been made, and nearly 22 years after I first received the original unit for this. And this is it, 3 3/4 inches per second. So now let's try music recording. And yet another scene change. This time it's going to end up in its final resting spot, or at least room. As again, this room's going to be set up as this is my bedroom growing up and my things I had growing up. Using my external sound card to auxiliary in. That adapter there is a stereo to mono converter. And what we're going to do, as I mentioned, off and sound monitor work the same way. Off is manual level control. You set the VU meter accordingly. Sound monitor works exactly the same way. It's pretty much, except you're just monitoring what's going through the unit. That said, it is not that loud. The computer adjusted, and this set, I have it on about 6 or 7 out of 10, but this tape recorder is not that loud right now. It's just like, you know, you're monitoring the sound. You're not amplifying it really that loud. I mean it's like it's a moderate level. Let me put it that way. When I go play back the tape, it'll be much louder because 7 out of 10 is like blasting on this unit. But it's just the idea. That's how that works. It's how level control works. So what we're gonna do, hit record, press record and play together, and then I'm gonna hit play over here. Here we go and play. So test of this video, I'm hooking an external speaker, an early 60s vintage Newcomb from the previous one with my General Electric. This does accept 8 ohm impedances, so let's see how it does. On. I'm just doing this to see. It fills the whole house with sound. Up the video with a PXL 2000 tape. December 23rd, 1993. You see those bars on the screen right there? That's this very TV back in 1993. I mean, this was my first TV I've had all my life. This TV's almost 25 years old now. It's beyond what I normally collect, but they still made them pretty well. Look, Lethal Weapon. The reason why I'm showing this video is I probably made other appearances with it, but this is what I remember. This reel-to-reel was one of my first subjects I recorded in '93. That PXL 2000 camera sat for about a couple years because I didn't have batteries for it, or I didn't get any batteries for it, and the AC adapter developed an open right where the strain relief is, so I didn't do anything with it. And then around '93 I got it fixed and I started using it again, except I dubbed all my cassettes from that to VHS, which you can see right here. And I have about close to 18 hours between 3 VHS tapes and beta tape of my life from 1988 through 1995 on this thing. So it's, I can freak out watching this stuff because it takes me back in the day. Anyhow, let's wait for the reel-to-reel to come up.
December 23rd, I was watching Animaniacs. I don't know why, but I felt like
That's me, and that lamp you see is actually downstairs on the same end table it's sitting on. That's why I love watching this stuff. Like I could say, hey, 21 years ago, that's where that stuff is. That couch right there is the same couch that's downstairs. Yes, there it is. See it?
What's the count of today?
You see the reels. I'm rewinding the tape. And I recorded with the microphone again up against this cheap Sound Design stereo. And that's what that wah, wah, wah sound is. And there you have it. Hope you enjoyed the video.